All right, I'm going to give you 5 trade targets for the Yankees that I think they could easily get without requiring them to fork up a ton of prospects. Because I know, and we're hearing this now, some teams are asking for the roof. And that's what they do anyway in the beginning of negotiations anyway. They ask for the roof, they have to settle for the fans or whatever it is. I get it. Shoot for the stars, settle for the clouds. It happens all the time, right? You ask for the top, somebody offers the bottom, you try to meet halfway in between. But now that we've got some guys that are really, really in demand, prices might get a little bit higher. But I think these guys are easily acquirable by the Yankees. We talked about Brian Reynolds. He's now on the IL, but he's still going to be hard to get. Luis Castillo is going to cost a ton, okay? And they've already mentioned Anthony Volpe and Oswald Peraza in terms of trade returns. Now, I would give up Oswald Peraza in a package for Luis Castillo. I would not give up Anthony Volpe. We are 6 deep at shortstop, okay? And Oswald Peraza is showing some versatility by playing multiple positions. But you're pairing him at shortstop with like Jonathan India at second, it's a good pairing. And again, I know he's the most major league ready, but he's not the heir apparent or whatever. And the fact is, we don't need anybody to replace IKF right now. Yeah, he's having some growing pains, but he stabilized the position. He's not costing them games. Okay, so how about we focus on areas where we're actually really problematic? Shortstop is not one of them. And he also makes up for it with key hits, base running, and all these different other things as well. And keep in mind, Jeter had the same problems. A lot of guys came here had the same problems. So I'm not really worried about shortstop, to be honest with you. But let's get into this. Number 1's Michael Taylor. He's an outfielder, center fielder for the Kansas City Royals. Okay, he's an elite defender. He's a multiple Gold Glove winner. All right, he's a free agent at the end of the year. This guy's moved around quite a bit. Doesn't have the bat that somebody like an Andrew Benetendi has, but he has an elite glove. Now he's not a lefty; he's a righty. But this guy's a cross-controllable outfielder that I think the Royals will probably move at the deadline, and he could be probably an easier piece for the Yankees. The other one is Andrew Benetendi, number 2. He's the more expensive lefty contact hitting guy. He's a more appealing target for the Yankees. But if the Yankees really want, if they're talking about 2 outfielders, how about Taylor and Benintendi? You've just dramatically improved defense and contact hitting. So, one from the righty, one from the lefty side. And it still won't cost as much as probably Ian Happ by himself. Now, the Royals are asking a lot for Benintendi and whatnot, but he's also a free agent. So for 2 months, you're not going to give up a top 2 prospect for 2 months of Andrew Benetendi. There's no way, right? There's no way. They might have to give up, I don't know, 5 to 10 or something like that, and maybe goose it with some other ones. But but he is hitting 320, right around 320. And again, he does what the Yankees need. So and the fact that everybody knows that means the Yankees are going to give up more than they probably want to. But Cashman's always reluctant to do it. But the fact is, too, Cashman has already acknowledged this too, and everybody knows the Yankees are on a World Series run. Okay, right? So you can either go cheap and get surrounding pieces, or you can try to get somebody who's going to be a needle maker, a needle mover, I should say. Again, Brian Reynolds to me is the biggest one, but I don't see him being traded now that he's on the IL. So I'm kind of moving on from Brian Reynolds. So Benintendi's probably the easiest to get. I like Happ. I like his switch hitting abilities. Maybe there's a multiple player trade here. Maybe there's a multiple player trade here for the Royals too. The Yankees also need a reliever, and I'll get to that too. But Andrew Benetendi and Michael Taylor to me are my 2 most probably doable planet Earth acquisitions here. Number 3 is Daniel Bard. Yeah, former Red Sox uber prospect who's now the closer for the Colorado Rockies. He's lights out right now. And again, they've showed a willingness to move some of their relievers now. Okay? The Yankees need another arm in the bullpen. Let's just be real about that too. We like Sears, we like Waldichuk, we like some of these other guys, we like Schmidt and some of these other dudes, but you're going to rock into the playoffs in the World Series, you need a proven major league player. Bard's one of them, and he's throwing gas. Okay, so he might be an easily acquirable arm for the Yankees as well. Now, don't get me wrong. I would love David Bednar. He's going to cost a ton. I like Scott Barlow. It's going to cost a ton. Okay, Josh Hader, a ton. So that's why I'm sticking in these realistic realms. I'm going to do a video also on who I think they really should get and the out-of-the-world fantasy players and whatnot. I'm going to get to that too, so don't leave without subscribing if you haven't done that yet. I'll be doing that this week. I don't want you to miss that. I don't want you to miss out on any of the news either when it comes to Yankees world, especially breaking news as we get closer to the trade deadline. So, and I'll obviously be back later on to give you the lineups and stuff for their 3-game series against Cincinnati now, who we will see on Thursday. Front line, Luis Castillo pitching against us. One of their prime targets. We'll see him right up front. Okay, so Bard's number 3. Merrill Kelly is number 4. Not sexy, right? Yeah, I know. But, if they're not going to pay the premium to get somebody like a Luis Castillo, Merrill Kelly is, as a depth piece. Now, I don't know if the Yankees, want another 4-hitter. A 4 pitcher, a 3 or 4 guy, but Tyone's declining, right? Or is regressing, I should say. And again, we're going to have innings limits. Cole is the only pitcher on this team who can throw 180 to 200 innings consistently every single year. Put himself in a position to win 60 to 75% of the games, strike out 200 guys. He's the only one on the team who does it with any regularity. Okay? That needs to be acknowledged. As much as I like the rest of the rotation, what they did for the first couple of months, this is not Glavine, Smoltz, Maddox, 3 Hall of Famers on the rotation at the same time. This is not. Let's be real about this, okay? Do they want to pony up for somebody like Luis Castillo, a frontline number 2 guy behind Cole, or get somebody like Merrill Kelly? He's 33, okay? He's not a free agent until after 2025 also, so he's got controllable years at a cheap price. So is Merrill Kelly somebody that they could use to replace Jameson Taillon next year? Because Jameson Taillon is not really doing himself any favors right now in terms of getting a contract extension with his regression. Joe Musgrove's a free agent at the end of the year, too. He's an appealing option from San Diego, okay? And then lastly is David Robertson. He's probably one of the more easy, acquirable guys, too. We've talked about a lot of these guys. But again, he knows the Yankees. He's familiar with New York. He's familiar with New York pressure, the New York environment, the New York media. He's performed well here. And he's reliable, and he's pitching really, really well for the Chicago Cubs right now. And again, he'll probably be a trade target as well with Wilson Contreras. Or he could be part of a package deal for Ian Happ. And again, this is going to require any acquiring team to pony up a good amount for Happ and Robertson. Okay, you're still going to have to pony up a decent amount for Robertson because of the way he's performing. So, but again, this is not Josh Hader. This is not David Bednar with 5 controlling. This is a different situation. This is why I'm mentioning these guys, because these are the easier targets for the Yankees. They have to make a couple of moves one way or another. And like I've said, I think one starter, one reliever, and a contact hitting outfielder who can hit righties, particularly righties from Houston, right, are ideal gets for the Yankees. And I don't want to have to rely on guys that are coming back. Okay, Jonathan Loaizaga and some of these other guys. If he works out, perfect. Okay, and again, this is what adding somebody like David Robertson. If he's pitching well and Chapman's stinking up, then Chapman doesn't go on the postseason roster, and David Robertson does. It's that simple. At that point, you pay the majority of his salary anyway. But what's the point of having an expensive, unproductive reliever on the roster when you can get somebody who's reliable and dependable here? They have to get more dependable. They have to get reliable because they have holes and they've been exposed. And I am not sleeping on Boston. I'm not sleeping on any of these teams. Toronto, who knows what these guys are going to get at the deadline? Boston went like 70-25 last year right before the All-Star break, and they just took off. I don't want that to happen again. The Yankees have a 14.5 game lead now. We want them to preserve as much of that as possible, right? So getting the right guys here is a smart move. That's why I'm mentioning these guys, because these seem to be the easiest gets, in my opinion, for the Yankees. Is anybody I'm not mentioning? Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious to know what you think. And anything else that comes out, you're going to get it here. And I'll see you later for the recaps and the lineups. Over and out.